It's extremely important to be creative and innovative in how we administer healthcare to the homeless population, because we know that about a third of them don't access healthcare in a traditional way. So you need to really go out to them and meet them where they are. We have 8,500 here in San Diego who are experiencing some level of homelessness, half of whom are on the streets. And that's a 10% increase from the prior year. In fact, 37% more families falling onto the streets.
So we start out with medical screening and then medication as needed, partnered up with individuals to bring hot meals.
In particular, for the vulnerable population with very little resources, it's almost impossible for them to navigate through it and get the care they need. And in order to do that, we really need to partner with others, other organizations.
It's devastating to see people suffer through some of the simplest things, and one of those simple things is healthcare. We have a saying that one person can change the life of one person. We can partner with great organizations, but we really focus on partnering with great people.
Education is what we need, and raising of awareness in order to embed healthcare.
It really starts first with reimagining care. We need to take a look at it from a patient perspective as opposed to from the provider perspective. And in order to then establish that and actually implement it, you really need to partner with other organizations outside of healthcare, where we've essentially created mobile clinics that bring the care to the unhoused population as opposed to expecting them to reach out to us.
So really the goal is to try to make sure that no matter who you are, that you get that access. And then we try to plug them into their community networks to make sure that they get long-term care.
I would say there are two major trends that we're seeing right now, and the first is addressing healthcare inequity. Another trend that we're seeing is burnout amongst providers. You've got providers who actually are hungry to provide care to this vulnerable population. They're yearning to volunteer.
If you don't have the knowledge base about the system, then you don't even know where to go. The paradox of it, though, is that the time that we give when we volunteer actually will prop us up for our salary earning jobs more than any single day of rest at home doing nothing.
And we know that just because they don't have a house over their head, so to speak, that they don't get any less than anybody else would in those situations.
So many individuals that because of medication, it's helping them with the mental health challenges.
And I envision within the next 5 years where we can be 25, 30 different cities across the country because of that energy we're seeing with people wanting to participate with us.
And building that community of like-minded individuals who want to serve others, who want to help make their community better, that excites me. That gives me joy and that gives me hope.
Well, Vituity was actually founded about 50 years ago and founded on the notion, the philosophy that engaged providers deliver excellent care to their patients and their communities.
Yeah, so Vituity started in the emergency department. Really, it was a collection of emergency physicians that came together to take care of people in emergency medicine. Over time, we went to different cities and different states and continued to care for people. So now we really try to take care of people across the entire healthcare spectrum and bring healthcare to where they need it.
Our partnerships are extremely critical in being able to deliver the services that are necessary, right? There are corporations that help us and foundations. We have government funding as well. Love the relationship that we have with Vituity, and I think at this point it's almost about 2 years in the making. I mean, today as an example, there's a mobile clinic right outside our doors here, right? And this is not the first time they've come down and partnered with us to do just that. Our missions are so very much aligned, I think, which is why it's been working so well.
The mission for the Vituity Cares Foundation is really to address healthcare inequity.
I think the pandemic was definitely challenging for all of us because it actually exposed the gaps of care for certain populations. But Vituity Cares is trying to start these clinics all over the country. So we start out with medical screening and then medication as needed, partnered up with individuals to bring hot meals.
If we look at everywhere else in the world, disruption actually advances industries. And so I think in this particular case in healthcare, you want to constantly disrupt. Do not accept status quo. Do not accept that somebody is just poor or somebody is just has a mental health issue. You really want to go ahead and innovate around all those different issues.
Well, our passion is the concept of health in place, of redesigning care to put that patient at the center of care delivery. And so we believe that by simply acting on that passion and making every decision based on that vision and acting it out, we can set the example of how healthcare can actually be redesigned to really benefit the patient and putting the patient first. Through that example, having others follow in our footsteps and joining us as well.
So to me, there's a step where we actually do the work, but there's also a step where we change the industry. We literally change the world. That's why I wake up every day to do that.